Just killed it.
You made the decision to play Thiago. Klopp doesn't change the system since Blue left. You don't want to change from the 4-3-3.
Telling me to come for me. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let you go. When she telling me to come forward, come for me. That's what she telling me to come forward. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let her go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where is she? Where is she? She telling me to come forward, come for me. I don't know why finally now I just spoke my mind. I know it's long since we spoke sometime, but this thing no play, I go change your mind. Just give me some time, baby, please, cause I don't have no time to waste. No more back and forth just like Aaliyah. That's all I wanna do right now. Grab it up, so you know me gonna grab it up. Body to body make a bend up for that reeling. Bad man turn you over like a steering. Well, when me gonna grab it up, so you know me gonna grab it up. Body to body make a bend over the reeling. Bad man turn you over like a steering. But she telling me to come forward, come for me. That's what she telling me to come for me. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let you go. When she telling me to come forward, come for me. That's what she telling me to come forward. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let her go. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, people? A bit of a different intro today. Big up to yourselves. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the Jerry James show. And we are live. We are direct. We're in the cup. We're in the flesh. Yeah, you can see me. Yeah, 4D, full screen to your eyes. Gee, yes, let's go. Yeah, it's the preview, people. We've got a massive game on the weekend. Before we get into any of that stuff, please make sure you are smashing a like, people. It does help the channel grow. Well, a lot of things coming out this weekend, and I'm so happy. That's why I'm vibing. That's why I'm dancing, because this weekend, you're going to get a lot of content. You're going to get a lot of content, especially if you remember, it's long overdue, but you're going to get some funny content. I can't wait for it. I can't wait for it. So I'm happy. I know you guys are going to be happy as well. But big up to your damn selves. We've got a massive game, and hopefully, after this, this time tomorrow, I'll be chilling. I'll be relaxed. I'll be comfy. I'll be reasoning with you, man. I'll be discussing it. Heck, I might get so excited. I might just do a call-in just for the sake of it. How about that? But big up to your damn selves. Let's get into the building. Big up to Fritz saying, man is releasing stress before the game with some crazy dance moves. Listen, it was just a, hey, don't let me start the Azonto and that, Fritz. Don't let me start. The footwork is crazy. Big up to Sadiq in the building as well. Big up to your damn selves. And everyone else that's in the building that's watching, whether that's on Twitter, Twitch, wherever else. I know there's a lot of people on Twitch, so big up to your damn selves. But yes, we are in the preview. And listen, this is probably, if I'm going to be honest, it's the game I'm excited for the most. If I'm going to be like brutally honest, the best game I've ever watched, right, has been Liverpool versus City. And I was at the game, and I've spoken about before, the game in which Fabinho rasped it from about 35 yards, top corner, the twice. That whole situation, yeah, I was there. I was right there. It was probably the best seats you could ever get in the house. Best seats in the house, right on the halfway line. Managed to get hospitality that day. So it was crazy. It was crazy. So I was proper gassed for it. And ever since, the way that game panned out, the best game I've ever watched. this has been my game, man. No matter what's going on, no matter how badly I despise Liverpool, how badly they're doing, or how well City are doing, I always look forward to this game. And look, it may change in the chat. It may change in the game. Sorry, not in the chat. I'm reading something else. But it may change. But listen, before it, I get really excited, and I know you guys too. And look, before I get into any of this and we get into kind of the tactics and my preferred 11s and we speak about the game, I'm just going to read out some stats. And I told you, I always make sure I've got my stats on deck before I ever get into a preview. So that way, you guys are reasoning, right? And if you're a betting man, yeah, Jerry knows bets. So best, which one I'm going to go with. But as you said, I'm going to bring the stats. If you're a betting man, take some of these stats on board. Listen, they've helped me out in the last couple of weeks. I'm not going to lie. But let's just get straight into it. Obviously, Liverpool last faced Man City last season and lost 4-1 in our last Premier League meeting. If you remember, this was in April. We've not won consecutive league games against City have not won consecutive league games against us since a run of 4 between 1935 and 1937. So, as we know, they ain't got that history like we do, but they've been better than us. And we don't, like I said, I said it before City won last season, we don't want to allow this blue moon to become a sun. And it has this. We're in the blue sun. We're in the age of the blue sun. Look how I've panned that out with the colours changing at 6. Liverpool have won just one of their last 14 Premier League away games against Manchester City, drawing 5 and losing 8, winning 4-1 in November 2015 in Jurgen Klopp's first visit to the Etihad with the club. Boy, we got some trouble. If you're a betting man, then listen, it doesn't look good from us from a statistical point of view. This is the 4th Premier League meeting between Manchester City and Liverpool, with both sides starting the day in the top 2 in the table. Only 3 fixtures have been played more often in the competition's history, with Arsenal, Chelsea and Man City each taking on Manchester United 6 times as the top 2. So, boy, when you talk about history, of course, United are there because they're named. But his fixture hasn't been played more than anyone else. So, like, it's up there. Do you know what I mean? They like, people talk about, Everton being rivals, United. Of course, we face United more times because we have done. But we've never faced them being the 2 top dogs at the same time. City, we've been up there or thereabouts for a lot of our history in the Premier League history in the last 10 years or so. Looking here some more. Manchester City have won their last 23 games in all competitions. Victory here would equal the club record for an English top-flight club, currently held by Sunderland between December 1980 and April 1892. This is crazy. So City on the verge of making history yet again by going 24 undefeated in all competitions, or equaling them anyway. And they had 24. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy from City. Going on, Liverpool have just lost 1 of the last 23 Premier League games. We've won 15 and drawn 7 in that time. That is from last season, if you remember, when we faced Chelsea, going down 2-1 at Spurs in September. However, they're currently winless in 3 away from home, drawn 2 and lost 1, and haven't kept a clean sheet in any of their last 7 on the road. And that's going to be a massive statistic for when we get into the games. As we know, I'm a centre-back. I love clean sheets. I'm a clean sheet addict, yeah? We don't keep clean sheets as a team. And to the team and to a player that can score goals for fun, that could be our kryptonite, people. It could potentially be our kryptonite. Moving on, 1/3 of Manchester City's total Premier League goals conceded this season, 4 out of 12, came in their last game, which was obviously a 4-4 draw, a scintillating 4-4 draw against Chelsea. They haven't conceded 4 in a match. When was this? Since September 2020, which was a 5-2 home defeat to Leicester City. So again, when you talk about consistency with this team, consistent for days. Going on to kind of Liverpool as well, Mohamed Salah has scored 198 goals in all competitions for Liverpool and would be the 5th player to reach 200 for the club after Ian Rush, Roger Hunt, Gordon Hodgson and Billy Liddell. He scored 11 for the Reds against Manchester City, only netting more against Manchester United, which is 12, which is the highest amount of any player scored against sides managed by Pep Guardiola. So again, we're talking about a top player, man. Top player, breaking records yet again, as he always does. Now, right now, I'm running out of superlatives to speak about Salah. He is that top dog, man. And when you talk about Salah, if Salah's on it, usually Liverpool win. And we're going to need Salah on it 100% for this game. Moving on to, I mean, I spoke about our bagsman. I'm going to talk about, obviously, the bagsman from the ops, right? On the ops side, on the opposition. Erling Haaland scored 49 goals in 47 games in the Premier League for City. A goal here would seem smash the record for the fastest to 50. Currently, Andy Cole's, which took 65 games. Again, incredible stat. That's mad. That is incredible. It scares me. When I look at those stats, it scares me because it's like, Haaland is that guy, let's be honest. However, Liverpool are one of two teams he's faced and not scored against in the competition alongside Brentford. So for his time that he's been at City, he's never scored against Liverpool. Ever scored against Liverpool. So that's an omen to go and look at. And it's something that I'm actually going to discuss when it comes to City and how I think they're going to go and play. Last stat I've got for you guys, I know it can get kind of boring, but if you're a betting man, just listen out for them. Liverpool duo Darwin Núñez and Mohamed Salah have created the most chances for each other this season, which is 19, and assisted each other more than any other pairing in the Premier League, which has obviously been 5 each. In fact, all 9 of Núñez's assists in all competitions for the Reds have been for Salah. So that is a massive stat. Massive stat, man. Massive stat when talking about Liverpool. But look, let's get into it, man. This is a game where Liverpool are going... It's going to be a very... I speak about this game and I talk about, Jurgen versus Pep, Guardiola versus Klopp. You got so many battles. You got Van Dijk versus Haaland. And ultimately, it comes down to the tactical battle between these teams. And I know we haven't spoken about it much, but because of the way City have played this season and rotated and changed slightly the way they play, and of course Liverpool's changing how they play, it means that it's going to be a massive battle tactically. And I think not for the first time, but for the first time in a long while, I think going back to, when Liverpool were on their rise, the Champions League season, when City done their all or nothing, there was this whole, obviously, talk. I always recall Pep Guardiola scratching his head in that documentary saying to himself, I don't know what to do with Liverpool. We can't allow them to have the ball because they've got the quality to hurt us and any team doing their Premier League if they keep the ball. But if we've got the ball, if we've got the ball, they're even more dangerous without it. So that conundrum spinning Guardiola's head, and lo and behold, we beat them. We beat them that game. Going into this game, the stakes aren't as high because I don't think Liverpool have proven themselves yet as a club, as a collective of players. But Guardiola's in a sticky situation, and this is why I'm going to break it down. Guardiola has been obviously spoken about multiple times for overcomplicating things, for overthinking certain situations, for being too tactical for his own good at times. If I want to say it, if you want to say it like that. After the draw against Chelsea, the 4-4, that was a bit hectic. I feel as though Chelsea found the way, and Pochettino really well, done really well, but found the way in which you can hurt City. And the way in which they built up was very interesting because Chelsea built up through the thirds, but it was very direct. Very direct. Do you know what I mean? Building up through the middle, overloading certain areas, especially through Reece James, allowing Reece James to come to the middle, popping off 1-2, and then Reece James giving it to one of the midfielders, getting round out wide again to then attack through Cole Palmer, and of course, whoever the wide player was on the day, Sterling. City conceded, as we said, more goals. Well, a third of all their goals conceded this season in that game. Now, I know some people may look at that and say, look, there, you've got the blueprint and City aren't going to change and Guardiola's going to do the same thing. It's going to be the same thing over and over again. And Liverpool are going to have to target that. We've got Núñez, we've got this, we've got that. I don't think Pep Guardiola makes the same mistake twice, especially whilst having time to mull it over, overthink it. And I think that's going to be a really, really crucial battle, because we saw in that game, they went and played a 4-4-2 almost. I know some people argue that Alvarez played in midfield, but looking at the stats, and I wish I actually could get at the images, but I can't because of copyright. The 4-4-2 that City were able to obviously, played, or the 4-5-1 that people said, was more or less, it was a 4-4-2. And they tried to dominate the ball through the likes of the fullbacks coming inverted and, defenders popping into midfield and creating overloads. So it's not as structured as a 4-4-2, like a Sean Dyche 4-4-2. However, it's still a 2 up top. Now, if Guardiola was to do that against this Liverpool team, based on how Liverpool play, just the standard, bog standard way Liverpool play, I think it would play into Liverpool's hands. Reason being, A, they can't dominate the ball as well in midfield, and I think it's proven by that game, because you've got 2 attackers on the pitch, including Doku, who is a winger. So that's about 3 attackers on the pitch. In midfield, you're lacking a player now, because you've also got another player out wide in Foden, who can, of course, come into midfield, but is playing out wide. And you're relying on Rodri and Bernardo Silva to really dominate the midfield. In years gone by, the midfield of Gundogan, Rodri and De Bruyne, or Bernardo Silva, or whoever you want to go and play in there, sometimes playing Bernardo Silva out wide who can come into midfield, means that they really dominated the midfield section. Now, if you're a Liverpool team that want to play on transition, the less bodies you have in the middle, the better. The less players you have, a Kovacic, who's unavailable because of injury, a Gundogan, or a player that wants to play 1-2s and really, really pass the ball around. You want players that want to drive with the ball and run with the ball, because the whole principle of Klopp's Liverpool is to win the ball back as quick as possible. The more touches you have on the pitch, you're more likely to lose the ball statistically as well. So I look at it from that perspective, and I'm saying to myself, if Guardiola goes and does this and plays the same team again, it might be curtains, because looking at that omen, Haaland don't score against Liverpool. Virgil van Dijk does really, really well against him, just in general as well. If Haaland's not scoring, of course they can get goals in other places, but you're inhibiting a massive, massive, massive key component in their attacking force without dominating the midfield, being easy to get cut through. Remember, the likes of Szoboszlai, the likes of Jones, the likes of Gravenberch, Nunes, they want to carry the ball, drive the ball through midfield. Trent like to drive the ball through midfield. Having players that can do that. Curtis Jones spoke about it in his recent kind of podcast with the We Are Red podcast. If you want to make it into a dogfight, and that's what a dogfight is, Liverpool can go and do that. And having the 2 in midfield without that third midfielder, like they did against Chelsea, means to me Liverpool can really dominate the midfield with the overload that we've got with Trent coming into midfield. The likes of McAllister, who I don't think has been as good as people are saying. I think he's been quite underwhelming. But he's still, I've got to believe he's got the quality to just keep the ball ticking over. And let's just be honest, he does. Having Jones in that midfield as well, alongside Szoboszlai, means that we're quite solid in midfield. Now, the flip side of that is, and this is if I was Klopp, you're looking at this game and thinking, is Pep Guardiola going to do the same thing? Or is he going to go back to old school City? And what I mean by that is, if you go back to that Chelsea game, City were very direct also. And they've changed the way in which they play since getting Haaland. Now, if you look back early last season, there was a lot of talk surrounding, Haaland not playing to him early enough. Does Haaland suit City's system? Because City was still trying to get to know Haaland's movements, Haaland's understanding of the game, how he wants to go and play. They were used to playing Gabi Jesus and Kun Aguero and Gundogan up front and playing as a false 9 and linking up that way. Now, as soon as they transition to Haaland, they become a much more direct team. Now, it's added a layer to their game, but it's also taken away a certain layer, because they have to be direct in order for Haaland to be effective. I've got a feeling, and I think what Klopp's going to be thinking about to himself, if there's space in the midfield, we can be quite direct and we can play this end-to-end game, and Klopp loves that type of game. But if City go to a 3 in midfield, and let's say they play Rico Lewis, Rodri, and Bernardo Silva in midfield, right? Having a hard, they're going to need a player to get on Rodri because they're still going to overload with Walker or Ake or Akanji or Gvardiol, depending on who plays. And they're going to overload that midfield with a third man in midfield because I don't believe Alvarez will start, and we'll get into that. If that's the case, people, I'm looking at this system and thinking, as Klopp, we may need to go and alter what we do because we're also a very, very direct team. And since acquiring a number 9 such as Nunes, we've had to become a bit more direct. We've had to stretch the pitch a bit more because we need the space for the runners to run into, such as Szoboszlai and Jones. Trent as well when he plays in midfield. Salah plays out wide, but also space for Nunes to receive the ball and go really direct to a number 9 because that pass to the number 9 is always the pass you want to make. You don't want to pop it around for no reason from a Liverpool perspective. So I'm looking at the game and does a Gakpo come into it? And yes, big up to Triller. Big up to Triller TV. That's exactly you're getting to my point. Does a Cody Gakpo start in this game? Now, we're talking about Nunes. I'm going to get into the team now, and actually it's a great segue. But does he go and play? Does this game go back to, I don't want to call it Premier League heritage, but Liverpool City heritage, where it's Liverpool's false 9 gegenpress team versus Pep Guardiola's tiki-taka and midfield dominating team with Haaland playing, but Haaland not to get a lot of the ball. Now, if you go and look back even last season in games where, City have done well against Liverpool, it's obviously they've dominated the midfield. But when you look at Haaland individually, he hasn't done as well. He hasn't dominated teams in the way Haaland dominated Man United, for instance. And I do see potentially Guardiola reverting back to that purely because he knows and he trusts his midfield are better than Liverpool's midfield in retaining possession, and the system is as well. I'm going to get into some of the comments because I know I've been waffling on for a lot. I'm going to get into obviously the stats and stuff, but it'll be very, very, very interesting, man, to get into it. Big up to GTV in the building. We got G. Big up to yourself. I already said big up to Sadiq Edwards in the building. Shout out to Fritz. Shouts to Anfield Road in the building as well. Big up to Dana Jacks. We got Tony Montana saying Liverpool ain't winning this. The draw is the best. Yeah, cool. We'll see. Big up to Hannah saying, go on, JJ, actually rooting for you guys tomorrow, 2-2, I reckon. Well, you got to root for us, of course, because, my enemy's enemy is your friend, and you got packed by them the other day. So I hear it, but listen, we're still ops, we're still beefing. It is what it is. Big up to Honesty as well in the building. Big up G. Big up my G, JJ. Welcome back, guy. Welcome back, man. It's been a nice international break. And at the end of the show, I've got some news for you guys as well. Big up to Frank Carlisle in the building as well. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. We've got Angel 968 in the building. Big up to AN. Who else we got? Big up to Asher in the building as well. We've got Gary Richards. We've got Triller, as he spoke about as well. So yeah, bare people in the building. Guys, make sure we are smashing a like. That does help the channel grow. Of course, we're en route to 500 million subscribers. That's what we're aiming for. That's what we're going to get to. So I need your help to do that. So please make sure you're liking UOGs in the building. Let's get into it. Sleek saying she must be a United fan. Come on, bro. You know what it is. Man. Them United. That United fan base is in the mud. But I'm not going to get into that too much. Not going to get into that. Big up to Ed in the building as well. Does SL stand for South London? Let me know, man. If you're a South London man, you know what I mean. We're repping South London here. But cool. Without further ado, I'm going to get into the team and Klopp's prediction. Now, luckily enough, apart from the 3, is this one? No, yeah, this one. Apart from the 3 injury concerns that Liverpool, of course, have in regards to obviously Bajcetic, Robertson, and Thiago, there's no injury news, which is really, really good. Of course, we've got Diaz back now after the recovery of his father, which is really, really good to see. On the screen, as you guys can tell, I've put players in just to speed it up a bit. I've put players in, the players that I believe are guaranteed starters. So, of course, Trent, we haven't got another right back. Of course, we've got Gomez, but Trent is our starting right back. Alisson, we know, the best goalkeeper in the world. I heard, is it Leanne Sanderson the ex-player talking about, ex-England international talking about, she thinks Ederson's a better keeper than Alisson. On the ball, I hear it. Yeah, I hear it. But as a goalkeeper, which is your number one job, it is outrageous from her to go and try to talk about, Ederson being better. I mean, he doesn't start for Brazil. You're talking about a guy that's won Liverpool so many points. If we had Ederson in goal, we'd probably be 5th or 6th. Now, he'd be amazing to go and watch and probably would aid in our build-up. But come on, let's just be honest. Like, you're a United fan as well. I don't know. Hannah, let us know. Is this a United thing? Do you guys love bantering us for no reason? But let me know, man. But yeah, let's just get into it. So, Szoboszlai, of course, are number 8. Yeah, I mean, and we got Salah, that's a banker. McAllister's an interesting one. Now, Klopp's come out in his presser today discussing the likes of McAllister. He's been asked about the 6th position and was asked, is McAllister 6? He's like, no, he's not an out-and-out 6, but I like him there. Reason why he likes him there is because he believes McAllister offers us something else, and his philosophy of how football should be played is changing because of how football is changing. Now, a lot of people are alarmed by this because there's been a lot of links, of course, with not an out-and-out number 6, but a player that might be a bit better suited to playing there, the likes of Andre Trindade. You've got Painho, of course, who's been on the radar. Doucouré is mentioned a couple times. Of course, we were in for one in the summer and didn't end up getting one. But this Klopp seems to love this guy. Now, in principle, if someone told me, if I was managing and I do coach, right? So if I was managing and someone brought me a player of his kind of attributes and said, hey, we've got this player and we think he could do really well. Can you play him somewhere? I'd probably play him in the same position if we're looking at how Liverpool play. I think he's got the attributes and I think I understand what Klopp's trying to do. What I would say is I don't think he's been as good as I thought he would be in that position. I thought we'd get like a Jabi Alonso type of player in that position. I thought we'd control games a bit better. But I've realised over time that Liverpool control games through their intensity and aggression. So he gets bypassed a lot of the time, and he's more of a facilitator. If Van Dijk can't go long, he plays to McAllister. McAllister pops it off to Trent. If Trent can go a bit more direct or pass the ball forwards, he can't. McAllister's there, and he's more of a safety net. But Klopp loves him, and I understand why. I don't think he's been as good as I thought he would be, but heck, he plays there, and I think he's a bank on. We haven't got a number 6, and in every game out of any of our midfielders, he's the one that starts at the number 6. So I've put him there. The rest of the gaps now, people, as you can see, are players where I think there's room for some discussion, and I'm open to having this discussion with you guys. So if we're starting at the back, at centre back, now our choices are, of course, Konate and Matip. Let me know what you guys are saying, man. Let me know what you guys are saying. Because I know a lot would go and say, of course, go straight for Konate. But I do feel as though Klopp prefers Matip. And I think Matip understands that role of when Trent comes inverted a bit better. I think he's got a better IQ. And I think that's why he goes and plays alongside his experience. The caveat is, you ain't got the pace of Konate. And that could save us in certain situations, especially with Doku playing. Who would you guys play? Exactly, Sadiq. I really agree. Matip would have a calmer head. But with Doku and Haaland on that side, who would you back to go and chase them down if we were to get caught out? I'm not saying if, when we get caught out. Interesting. Really, really interesting. Boy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say, people. I know it's difficult. I'm gonna have to make an executive decision. I'm gonna go Matip. I'm gonna go what I think Klopp will do. And although I would understand Konate playing, I think Matip plays. I think Matip's his starter for now. At left back, we've obviously got the choice of. We've got two choices. We've got Gomez, who we think obviously you could potentially play. We've seen him do that in certain games when he's wanted a bit more stability down the left. And also you can play Tsimikas, who had a very, very decent game last time out. However, this is a different game. Now, with Foden running inside off that right wing, which I think he will play down that side, with either Walker bombing him as well. Would it be best to fight fire with fire and play Gomez down that side, or would you guys be up for, playing Tsimikas down there and allowing him to attack? That's going to be very, very interesting. We've got Angel United 68 saying Gomez, and I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, man. I definitely hear what you're saying. What am I going to go with? I'm going to go with what I think Klopp will do. I would have gone with Gomez. But I think Klopp goes with Tsimikas. And the reason being, I think he's left-footed, which offers us a bit more width, especially when Jones comes inside. Gomez narrows up the pitch a bit too much, which means that you're succumbing to not having that width. It means that the player on the left who I'm going to play, or Jones or Gravenberch, whether you play down the side, is going to have to keep some more width. So it's going to be interesting, but I think you go Tsimikas. As is obviously saying Kostas is better balance. I hear you. You've got Victor Ojomo saying I'm starting Gomez at left back. Ultra saying I spoke to a City fan and he wants to play Rico Lewis at right back. Yeah, I also think Rico Lewis might play in midfield though. That's the problem. Dana Jack saying City supporters are talking about getting past Tsimikas due to his pace. Yeah, it'll be interesting. So I'm going to go with that. In the left and midfield, we've obviously got Gravenberch and Jones. Now, I think Gravenberch's been very, very good since coming in. I think he's been good. Obviously, we got Elliott that can play there as well. However, I'm going with Curtis Jones. I think Curtis Jones is a banker in Liverpool's midfield. I think for Klopp, he's the most important midfielder for Liverpool because he facilitates everyone else and he understands the system and he balances out our midfield much, much better. I think when he's not in the team, we look a bit off balance. I don't think Szoboszlai is as good. I think when Gravenberch and Szoboszlai play, they're not as good as a partnership together. However, that duo of Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones has worked really well. And our best performances have come when Curtis Jones has been on the pitch. And this is since he's come into the side back in the last season. So I'm going with Curtis Jones, and I think Klopp will go with Curtis Jones. Need to see what you guys are saying. What are we saying here? You guys aren't saying anything. There we go, saying, I think if Simi plays left back, then Jones must play because he will provide cover and help the other midfielder. Yeah, I think Curtis Jones played regardless in big games. I just don't think Gravenberch would play. Now, on the left, of course, we've got Luis Diaz and Diogo Jota that can play, and a Cody Gakpo as well. Cody Gakpo hasn't been good this season. I think he's not been as effective. He's in that Havertz bracket where, I'm not saying he's as bad as him, but you don't know what he is. Is he a left winger? Is he a false 9? Is he a number 10? Is he an 8 at times? Is he a not out-and-out striker? I don't know. He's kind of a jack of all trades. For the Netherlands, he plays up front, but wears an 8. Do you know what I mean? For Liverpool, what number does he have? Number 18, but plays him. I don't know. It's just a bit all over the place. But I'm going to go with a player, and based on how I think the game would go, a player that is probably our most clinical after Salah, and that's Diogo Jota. And the reason why I'd go for a player like that is I think as the game goes on, you'd want to go and have the option of bringing on a Luis Diaz to affect the game in a different way and affect the dynamic. Diogo Jota is the player that on the pitch, if the ball drops to him in the box, he can finish it. The player that can play up front, I mean, you could play, obviously the people know the player I'm going to play up front because I've just baited out. But Diogo Jota is very clinical after Salah. And I don't think any of the other options up front are as good a finisher. I think they can have great games. He's going to have a great game, the player I'm playing there. But of course, great finisher. So I'm going to play Diogo Jota then, and having the option of bringing on Cody Gakpo or Luis Diaz to change the scope of the game is what I'd probably go for. And then down the middle, people, I'm going with none other than Darwin Núñez. Now, Darwin Núñez, really coming to the fore this season, international level, top goal scorer in the CONMEBOL qualifiers, I believe. Been really, really good, scored a couple of good goals. He's in a lot of confidence. Doing well for Liverpool as well. Let's not get it twisted. Doing really, really well. As we spoke about, that link up with him and Salah is very, very, very potent. Probably the best duo in the Premier League at the moment in terms of assists for each other and chances created for each other statistically. So that makes a lot of sense. The only caveat I have for Darwin Núñez from a defensive standpoint is Rodri will probably be sitting in this situation if they go over 3 in midfield. He's going to have to do a lot of that and sitting on Rodri. Now, can he go and do that? Has he got the discipline to go and do that? I know he's got the work rate, but the discipline, I'm not too sure because it takes a lot of discipline. Bobby Firmino was renowned for that. And I do think it will be a game to go back into that old style. When I'm looking at Darwin Núñez, this is a game for me where he has to come to the fore. In the last few, couple big games, whether that be against Arsenal, Chelsea, whoever else, he hasn't started these games. He hasn't started games for Liverpool. And I think there comes a time where, I'm not saying he's become a man or whatever, but he needs to grow into the role of being this Liverpool number 9. And if you're going to be that, you need to start starting these big games. Now, every one of our top strikers, whether that be Bobby Firmino or any of our forwards, Bobby Firmino, Mane, Salah, you want to go look at Torres, Suarez, Sturridge in past gone years. There were players that turned up in the big games. Turned up. Now, Núñez is going to get a lot of chances. But in a game like this, we're going to need him to turn up because we haven't won at the Etihad in a very, very long time. Since 2015, Klopp's first game at the Etihad. Now, if Liverpool can go and do that, I think it sets a massive tone. And if he can, for us to go and do that, he's going to have a really, really good game because he's going to get a lot of chances in this game, or he's going to get a couple. He's going to have to be very clinical because if he doesn't, the opposition that we're facing are equally as good as us going forwards as a team. So it's going to be very, very interesting to go and have a look at that, man. What else are you guys saying? Triller saying Jota is on form. I agree as well. You're saying here, I think Gakpo is having an identity crisis. We keep on playing him everywhere. In my opinion, in a few years' time, I think he'll become a left wing full time. I mean, I hear that, but over who? They're like the same age, or he's a couple years younger than Diaz. And what, is he going to wait until he's 29 to get his chance? I don't know. Triller is saying is a strong lineup. Yeah, I think that is a strong lineup. I think it's the strongest lineup we could actually play, if we're being honest. La Pantera up front. Yeah, I've played La Pantera up front. We've got Angel saying, JJ, Núñez ran himself into the ground for Uruguay. He may be tired. Bielsa has Uruguay running everywhere. Gakpo may start. Look, I hear Gakpo starting even from a tactical perspective. Tiredness doesn't play a factor in this game. You think tired is going to be okay? I don't know, man. I don't know. Ultra saying Diaz is turning 27 this season. Yeah, and I believe he's turning 27 this season, so next year, because he's my age group. And then I believe Gakpo is going to be 24, so it's not too bad at all. Yeah, I think they're big up to Frank Carlisle saying Ali, Trent, Virgil van Dijk, Konate, Tsimikas, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Jones, Salah, Núñez, Diaz. Okay, so you've gone for Diaz in midfield. Very, very similar team to myself, so I hear it. Big up to Tron saying just joins why Jones and not Gravenberch in midfield, because Jones is more important for our midfield. I think Szoboszlai has had his best performances with Jones on the field with him. I don't think he's played as well with Gravenberch in the team. And I think it just offers us better balance. You need someone that understands the importance of the game. Asher thinks Klopp will start Gakpo as well. So I hear it. I hear it as well. Honestly saying Cody will become a midfielder or he will be our utility man. Cody will be that player who can play multiple positions. Yeah. But I don't think he'll be that guy then. That guy that we thought he would be. So it'll be interesting to go and see, man. Big up to keep it level in the building as well. So that's my team just to go and analyze. That's obviously Alisson. We've got Trent at right back, Matip, Van Dijk making up the centre backs. We've got Tsimikas at left back, McAllister in the DM with Jones and Szoboszlai in the 2-8 roles. Diogo Jota, Darwin Núñez, and Mohamed Salah to start. And I see a bench of Gakpo and obviously Diaz coming off the bench as well. Keep it level saying you're only 27, JJ. I thought you was knocking on 40, bro. Like drifting them, man. No way. You're violating. Like I know I've got the beard. I know I should be going to the barbers a bit more often, 100%. But you don't have a hair like you don't have hair as strong as me and stuff. and be 40. Like, do you know what I mean? Look at Drift. Like, listen, I've got image. I'm guarantee you, someone's got images of Drift with like braids or something, or like dreadlocks, and now he's bald. But that's what happens with life, man. That's what happens in life. Ultra saying keep it level. Yeah, JJ's wearing a wig. Yeah, trust me, man. Look, like it's peeling off. Do you see it? Look at the movement. Idiots, man, idiots. Honestly saying, imagine Klopp plays a double pivot of Mac 10 and Endo and Curtis Jones in the 8. Well, then it's not. I mean, it's not. He won't do that because then Trent wouldn't be inverted, and even if he did that, it'd just be 2 8s that are a bit more defensive. Because I think everything's fluid. I don't think it's as static as people are talking about. But I hear what you're saying. Big up to Boom Boom 43 in the building as well. Sadiq saying, "Oi, leave us distinguished gens." Yeah, but the thing is, the distinguished gens go easy, man. It's just, you know what I mean? It's just. Damn, it's just skin. It's just skin. I hear you. Without further ado, also, so that's the team. What we're going to do now, people, before we head into the next bit, is I wanted to do this with you guys. Let's get into it. Right, honestly saying I got the lace front. Yeah, man. Oh, Cop-Outs, I'm going to get into the score prediction. Big up to yourself, man. Guys, make sure we are smashing a like. I'm getting a bit hot with this as well. Cool. Let's get into it. Hold on, I'm boiling. Jesus Christ. Cool. Let's get into the. I'll get into score predictions, but I'm going to get into the best 11. So a combined 11. Yeah, a combined best 11. Let me put combined in there as well, so you guys can't outdo me. Now, I'm gonna put my combined one, and then you guys let me know if I've got it wrong or not. So I'm going with Alisson at right. I'm going with Trent. Yeah. At centre back. I would have gone for Stones at centre back, but he's not available. So I'm going to go Ruben Diaz. Great professional, as Scorcher said. Shout out to yourself. But he's not as good as people make out, I don't think. We've got Van Dijk, who I think is going to be there. And at left back, I'm probably going to go and play Ake. I think Ake is really, really good. Really good when he plays in that position. They haven't got the best fullbacks, though, like out-and-out fullbacks. I had Cancelo there a couple of years back, but obviously not anymore. In the DM, of course, I'm going to go Rodri. I don't think that's a discussion at all. I am actually going to go with... If De Bruyne was available, I'd probably go De Bruyne, but I'm going to go Szoboszlai instead. I'm going to go Bernardo Silva here. Oh, no, what is it? Bernardo Silva in that midfield role as well. I'm going to go Salah on the right. I'm going to go Haaland up front. And I am going to go with Foden on the left. I think Foden's an amazing player. So that is... Let me see if I'm fair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 players for a team that have just won the league. I think that's not bad. I think that's not bad, man. Cop-Out saying, where's the Cats today? Did the missus take them out and leave you at yard? No, do you know what it is? The Cats, look, we got one cat sleeping here. We got another cat who's sleeping there as well, but you can't see him on the tree because he's great. And the white cat's here. You got Keep It Level saying Doku on the left wing for me. I think I've got to get Foden in there. I don't think Doku's done enough, man. I don't think Doku's done enough. The reliable Christian Falk has today confirmed that Liverpool's interest in Bayern Munich's Leroy Sané is concrete. Interesting. Foden, not Doku or Grealish. No, I think Foden is that good, you know. I think you've got to have Foden in that team. Doku hasn't done anything yet. He's done a couple step overs. I don't think he's done well in the Chelsea game. Grealish is the one that you could argue for, but I prefer Foden. And I think Foden just floating around is just, I think he's really good. But it could be. That, like I said, this is my team. I'm up for debating it with you guys. Ultra saying, are we including injured players? No, we are not. Yes, obviously that's my combined 11. Moving on, talking about score predictions. That's just a bit of fun. Talking about score predictions now. Boy, something tells me I've been a bit too positive as of late. So I'm going to say... I am going to say 2-1 to Liverpool or 2-2 draw. I think it's more likely going to be the draw, but I'm trying to be as positive as possible. I think Liverpool win 2-1, but I don't think it will be it won't be an easy game at all. It'll be a very, very, very tough game. We haven't won there in a long time, and look, I might be getting this completely wrong again, but hey. We've got honestly saying 2-1 for LFC, Darwin, Brayson, and Foden. I hear you. We've got 3-2 Sadiq Edwards, and that's 3-2 to Man City, I assume, because you write 3-2 and you haven't put the name down. We've got 2-1 Nunes and Endo winner. We've got honestly saying, in my opinion, Matip has been better than Diaz because Diaz looks not that great this season. I hear you, but if I told you now, Liverpool, if you heard news now that stated Liverpool have traded or have swapped Matip for Ruben Diaz this season, you'd have been gassed by it. So I'm going to keep Ruben Diaz in there. Angel at 68 saying, has Jota had a better season than Foden? Check the goals and assists, JJ. From a goals and assist perspective, maybe so. However, Foden's been influential. Like, Foden's played every single game. I think he's coming to the fore this season. I think he's a top player. I wouldn't put Doku in there as I think it's too early for him as well. And I don't think he's been as instrumental or as vital to the team as Szoboszlai has been for Liverpool as well. Do you know what I mean? If De Bruyne was there, I think I'd still play De Bruyne ahead of him. We've got 3-1 for Fritz. Matip header, 2 goals. I hear you. We've got Kopat saying 3-1 at effing believe it. Wow. Sadiq saying, look, here's 3-2. He's saying that's the score, not saying to who. He just thinks it's going to be 3-2. I hear you. AN saying, I would say 3-2 for us. We are better against big teams than smaller ones. Luton was a mistake, but here we come to win. Yeah. Only, if it was at Anfield, I'd be a bit more confident, but we don't win away from home often. Frank Carlisle saying 2-1 Nunes. No pen. I hear you. I hear 2-1. I hear 2-1. Apologies. Ultra saying no KDB, so no more deflected Matip goals. LOL. We've got Victor Ojama saying, I don't want to draw. I want to win. And I really hope we win to get ahead of City in the league table. Yeah, it'll be a very, very good weekend if we can do that, man. Very good weekend. Ravi saying, big up, like, subscribe. Big up to Ravi. Hope you're doing well in the building. Saying 3-2 Liverpool. Win Nunes to score. I hear you. King Dom saying, can't understand how this game is at 12:30. It's mad. I feel sorry for I feel sorry for myself. If kickoff's at 12:30, I'm missing 30 minutes of the game because I'm flipping coaching my teams. It's mad. I'm gonna have to miss 30. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have earphones in. Actually, I can't. I'm too engaged when I'm training. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to firm the first 30 minutes, which is crazy. Honestly saying Jota needs to be called the apex predator. You don't see him and then he strikes out of nowhere. Sometimes defenders forget about him. 100%. That's why I'd go and play him. Keep it level saying, are these forgetting we are playing away at the Etihad thinking we will score 3? 3 at Etihad is a bit mad. I'm not going to lie. That's why it's 2-1 maybe, but 3-1 is a bit crazy. Yeah, man. I hear you. What else? We've got Ravi saying, question, if we go 1-0 down in the first 20 minutes, how do we respond? I mean, we've got to respond with a goal. There's not, I mean, like, I hear what you're saying, but what do you mean? Like, let me know. What do you mean by how we respond? Let me know by how do we respond. That'd be interesting to know. Man. Yeah. But look, people, look, I've got to be off because I got to make some munch. But look, thank you so much for everyone tuning in. As you know, I've given a 2-1 score prediction. I am going to go with Salah to get the first goal. I think Salah is going to turn up. I think he's going to be a bad boy tomorrow. Whether we win or not, I think he's going to have a decent game, as he always does. Trilla saying we better play a goal. Sadiq saying it's football, anything is possible. Facts. How do we grab the game? We grab the game by winning the ball back quickly and being as direct as possible. But look, where it is what it is, man. We're gonna have to wait and see. Very, very interesting. But look, I'm excited for it, and I know you guys are too. Thank you so much, Angel, as well. Appreciate Keep It Level as well, guys. Make sure you guys are tuning in with me tomorrow, because tomorrow, 100% after the game, I'm going to be doing a stream later on in the evening. So if you guys can join me and we can discuss that game, that would be amazing. It will be a tactics board. But you know what? Just for you guys, it's going to be a call-in show. So you guys are going to get to call in, chop it up with me. And I'll be really, really honored if you guys could do that. For everyone else that will be checking out as well, I've got a lot of news. So from Monday, I'm going to a rota is going to be coming out on when the channel is going to be uploading. So there's going to be certain days and certain times that we always upload. We will have 2 lives and 1 pre-recorded show that will be out every single week on those certain days. But you're going to have to wait until tomorrow for me to drop it. Not Monday, actually. I'll do it tomorrow because you guys are going to be live. And then we got a members video coming out tomorrow as well. And that was going to be really, 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 really funny. And some news for you guys tomorrow regarding what I'm going to be up to next year. So thank you so much for everyone that's tuning in. It's been the Jerry James Show, and we are out. Have a great weekend. See you tomorrow, and you'll never walk alone. Boom.